Hey y'all, and welcome to the next installment of the Eatin Good in the Woods Campground Reviews Shenandoah series. Today we're going to visit the largest and the nicest campground on Skyline Drive, and it happens to be our favorite. It's Big Meadows Campground. Y'all stick around, I'll show you around. Before we go any further, I'd like to remind you guys, please don't forget to mash that subscribe button, give me a big old thumbs up, maybe even leave me a comment or two. I sure would appreciate it. Wanted to tell you guys about this great app too, RVParky. What a wonderful app to go find campgrounds all over this great country of ours. And it's absolutely free. Check your Play Store. While I know I usually don't start campground reviews off with a top tip, I'm going to this time. This campground is huge. It has 7 loops. Loops A through D have lots of sunlight, while loops E through H do not. They are very shady. If you come here, please bear in mind that these are standard non-electric sites, and not all loops allow you to use a generator. So if you're relying on solar power like we do, you're going to need some sun. So keep that in mind when you book your reservation here. As you may have noticed, Big Meadows has a gas station. It's the only gas station on Skyline Drive. In addition to that, there is a wonderful museum and a beautiful gift shop at the very front. Of all the campgrounds, Big Meadows is the only one that has a lodge. That's where we're going first. The Big Meadow Lodge highlights ADA handicap access. It's got a craft shop in it. It's located inside the park at mile marker 51 of Skyline Drive. There's very little cell phone service or elevators. There are no telephones in the rooms. All rooms are non-smoking. These rooms may be rented by the night. They are pet friendly. There's a playground and the Spotswood dining room. Wi-Fi access is also available in the lodge. All of the rooms feature air conditioning and heating, a fireplace, a hair dryer, a private bathroom, and a television. The lodge at Big Meadows is truly spectacular. Let me tell you a little about it. It was built in 1939 with stones that were quarried from the Massanutten Mountains and also made from native wormy chestnut, which is now virtually extinct. Big Meadows Lodge has an easy, natural feeling and is officially listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Before moving on to the campground, I want to take just a minute or two to remind you of something. Shenandoah National Park is teeming with wildlife. You are likely to see anything from chipmunks all the way to bears. While I have not personally seen a bear in Shenandoah National Park, they do exist. Please do not ever approach a bear, or any wildlife for that matter. So let's move on to the campground. Big Meadows is an expansive campground that offers more than 200 campsites, including sites that can accommodate larger groups. Picnic areas are provided, as well as conveniences like flush toilets, showers, and a dump station, which creates a comfortable camping experience. There is limited Wi-Fi, as I mentioned before, that you can access at the Bird Visitor Center and at the Big Meadows Lodge. Cell phone reception is spotty at best, but is available at the amphitheater. Shenandoah National Park spans 300 square miles of the Blue Ridge Mountains in the southern Appalachians. All campsites at Big Meadows are standard non-electric. That means there's no electricity or water at each site. However, there is a place to fill your tanks. As I mentioned before, loops A through D get the most sun. So if you're solar like we are, that's where you want to camp. If you prefer to use your generator, note that that is in selected areas only. Then loops E through H are very shady, and you may find that to be more comfortable. There are tent-only non-electric sites as well. In the campground, you'll also find day use areas, interpretive programmings, wildlife viewing, which includes birding. There is berries that just grow wild. There are information sites all over the place, as well as a visitor center. You can backpack or take a scenic drive. Plenty of hiking trails. Sometimes, especially in the summer months, there are evening programs. There is very little light pollution up on Big Meadows, so stargazing is an absolute wonder. There are some guided interpretive walks. You can bike around there, and there are historic and cultural sites. The amenities of this park, aside from accessible campsites, also feature scenic overlooks, accessible grills, a gift shop, showers, campfire programs, a small grocery store, trailhead parking. As I mentioned, there's an amphitheater. There are laundry facilities, some camping supplies. Unfortunately, the showers are coin operated, but it's affordable, and let's just be frank, it's worth it. There are picnic tables throughout the park, as well as drinking water. Pets are most certainly allowed, and there are 2 restaurants up on Big Meadows. It does have a dump station, as I mentioned before, and each site has food storage lockers. Keep them bears at your food. There is room for RVs of every variety, including fifth wheels, Class A, B, and C motorhomes, and travel trailers, as well as tents, as I mentioned before. You can also buy your firewood there. And I cannot stress this enough, do not move firewood. There are 2 visitor centers with bookstores and exhibits located in the park. One is at milepost 5 and one is at milepost 51. The Bird Visitor Center is a short 1-mile walk by either trail or sidewalk if you choose not to drive. There are concession-managed restaurants, gift shops, and lodging facilities scattered throughout the park. Also a neat little thing, a lot of people don't realize this. You are only 2 hours away from Washington, D.C. Generator hours on the loops that allow generators are from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There is a 60 decibel limit on generators. Bear in mind too, unless you have a U.S. government access pass, it is $30 to get into Skyline Drive. Well, that's going to be about it for this episode of Eatin Good in the Woods Campground Reviews, Shenandoah edition. It's beautiful, it's remote, and it gives you the perfect opportunity to just disconnect. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all going out there and be nice to one another. I sure love you. God bless. Bye-bye.